fan chat. How you all doing on Monday evening? Hope you've had a good day, start to the week. Hope it's not been too taxing. Just set my laptop up so I can see all your comments. Got a lot to squeeze in, a lot of topics today. I don't think I'm going to go into a lot of detail on each of these topics, but there's a lot to briefly mention. Guys, it's Ray here. So just waiting for people to come on board, and in the meantime I'll stick it on Twitter so people can see what we're doing. Just wait for a few people to come online. My laptop's really having a bad time. Just stick it on there and yeah, Felix, as the guy we're going to talk about today. I'm just putting his name up. Okay, let's see who's online then, if anybody. Cameron Dempsey, hey, first man on the line, first man live tonight. How you doing, Cameron? Hope you're really well. Cameron might give us an insight. Well, I think he gave me an insight anyway as to the kit launch yesterday. Let's have a look at something here. I'm just going to click on a couple of things. It's very noisy in my kitchen today. But anyway, there we go. Let's get back to your comments. It's just you, Cameron, so far. Well, I'll spend the first 2 or 3 minutes, I suspect, giving shout-outs to whoever's online and going through the agenda, telling you what's on the agenda, and then try and get these topics done quickly, and then we can just chat about what's going down and then get your opinions on various issues. So today we're going to talk about Jack Harrison. I think I wrote James Harrison on Twitter, but it's Jack Harrison, and his loan deal has been confirmed. Matt Smith, excellent young player for Wales actually. He was playing, I think, at NEC Breda last season, and he's already won a few caps for Wales. So his next loan has been confirmed apparently, and a couple of young kids, Rowan MacDonald and Louis Fiorini, who've signed their first pro contracts. City evicting Berry from Carrington for unpaid bills. Advertising the new kits outside Old Trafford on big boardings there. Felix Correa, we talked about him yesterday. It looks like it's going to happen, even though I was ridiculed yesterday when I was talking about purchasing him for about €6 million. The rumours are that it's going to happen tomorrow, or it's going to happen this week. And a small change in FFP, which really doesn't affect City. Right now, it might in the future, but right now, in the foreseeable future, in my opinion, it won't affect City, regardless of what the MEN and other people might be telling you. It has very little impact on City. Okay, so Chris Welsh, hey Chris, how you doing, mate? Cameron says, good, thanks. I don't know what to make of it yesterday's kit launch. Can only think it was aimed at younger City fans. Yeah, we'll talk about the kit launch. I mean, I made some comments last night. I mean, quite a few people. In fact, it was quite a few, let's say, older City fans who were season card holders, and they said they had some of them had no inkling that there was a do on and that you could get tickets for them for this do. I mean, I saw something last week. Several days ago about Bugsy Malone themed launch party, and I thought they're talking. You can tell how old I am. I thought they're talking about Bugsy Malone, the the film or the stage musical or whatever, or a film, and I thought people could have come dressed up as Bugsy Malone. I didn't know this. Was it a grime, hip hop kind of guy who swears a little bit, called Bugsy Malone. No idea. Okay, so it does. I mean, there was a feeling of the people who I spoke to on Twitter last night. There was that feeling. They were the older fans, but like me, some of them in Sporting City 30, 40, 50 years. No inkling, no idea that something was going to happen and that they could have got tickets. I only found out yesterday that people could apply for tickets. Someone told me that all season card holders were sent an email and that they could apply for tickets. I didn't get one. My kids didn't get one. Other people I know didn't get anything either. Hi Mike, how you doing? You're in from the bathtub. No, I was going to tell you a story then, but even though it's past 9 o'clock, keep my bathtub stories quiet. So the kit launch. So it was, and a lot of people were quite disappointed. And I did a video on it. You might be good enough to watch the video. And we've got, was it 35 or 37 million likes on Facebook, almost 2 million subscribers on YouTube, I think, and is it 7 million followers on Twitter? And we didn't live stream the event. We didn't even do it with a slight delay. There was nothing. So people were tuning in, yeah, let's watch some live stream. Absolutely nothing. So for the majority of the City family, if we're going to talk about, if you're going to have 37 million likes on Facebook, let's consider them part of the City family. For most of the City family, they got nouts. Yeah, and other people complaining if they had kids. Someone said, I think they took their 6-year-old. It's a bit late to take a 6-year-old out. Anyway, that's other people's business. But some people said their kids were turned away because I think you had to be, was it 16 or 18 because of licensing laws. And they said, well, why did you let us? I think you had to put the date of birth in of the people to be able to get a ticket. Now, seriously, you put the date of birth in to get a ticket, and so they know, they should know that they are old enough to get a ticket. So first of all, those tickets are wasted. That's the starting point, and people are turned away. People went with the kids, had to go home. It's not great. I mean, I'm not here to whinge, okay? But when I see something that's not right, hey, we can talk about it. There's nothing wrong with that. I would suggest that 95% of the stuff you see on this channel is positive and very, very positive. Talk about City in glowing terms. Talk about Pep as the best manager in the world. Talk about the players as some of the best players in the world. Talking about Cheeky and Ferran and Khaldoun and Sheikh Mansour in glowing terms, really glowing terms. We've got the best infrastructure going in world football or even world sport. We've got the best guys around. So if I'm going to say all that, I'm entitled to say when something's not successful or something's gone wrong. I think we are entitled to say it. I'm not a yes man. I try not to be. I try to be my own man sometimes. Okay, you try and fit in, and you can end up being a yes man, which is it's life sometimes. I don't want to discredit myself too much, but it happens. But I want to be. I said when I started this channel, we want to be positive news, positive about City, but it doesn't mean we're going to run away when something's not so good. And I think something is not so good. I mean, you had this. So you had the thing last night. Okay, at 9 o'clock. Then at 8 o'clock this morning, you had the store reopening, and the first 200 people would get, was it breakfast? And the first 50 in store would get a goodie bag. Not great for kids again. I know there's something going on this weekend. I know that. But you're excluding the kids from this event. Yeah? The event at the weekend, you're not going to exclude adults. You're not going to say, well, you're over 16, you're not coming in. This is just for kids. I'm all for being more and more inclusive. That's the way it is, We should be more inclusive. And it was great that City were parading 4 trophies. Fantastic. And apparently they'd forgotten about the women's team. Same goals it's supposed to be. Same goals, they say. And promote the women's team, but they only had the men's trophies. I'd like to get an explanation on that. But I'll be quite honest, if I contact City, they won't tell me. You know, I'm a fan of 46 years now. 46 years. They won't tell me jack. You know, a journalist can ring up. Maybe they'll tell him. Maybe they'll brief the journalist. But City fans, nah. You know, it doesn't matter. And going back to the live stream, the only thing that, you know, the main thing I saw was from Sam Lee. And he's not a City fan, he's a United fan. And he just reports on City for goal. Or I think he's changing role or moving jobs or something. But he reports for goal on Man City, but he's a United fan. So, and other people were telling me that there were people who'd gone to the event just to see the artists, just to see the bands. Yeah. Excuse me. And they, you know, once the bands had finished, they'd left. So they weren't City fans. So City fans, you know, you'd like there to be more City fans included in a City event. Now, I'd love to know if that was a Puma stage event or a Man City stage event. But irrespective, you would want it to be full to the brim, top to bottom of Man City fans. Not United fans, not fans there just for the music, fans there, City fans there for City. And is shameful the wrong word? Is it too strong? Disappointing? Take your pick. Disappointing or shameful that more City fans weren't invited, that it wasn't a family event. You know, I mean, yeah, take it away, whichever way you want. You know, as I said, I just say it how it is and how I see it, and that's my opinion. So let's get back and see what people are saying, because I haven't read your comments. I just have my little rants. Ben Dries, as he's what a downgrade from Nike to Puma. No, mate, seriously, Nike kits were genuinely boring, generic, and not worth buying. I mean, I bought one. I remember buying long sleeve kit with a stripe, white shirt, and the lettering came off. Now I've had some City kits since the 90s. Okay, lettering's not come off. This Etihad one, and I used to wear them a lot. Play sport, play footsie in them, play five-a-side, wash them a lot. Lettering stays there, but that Etihad, you know, it's come off. You know, it's a Nike kit, it's rubbish. So some of these kits have been rubbish, and I've gone from buying lots of merchandise, and I've said it many times, I've got over 60 Man City t-shirts, football shirts, tracky tops, jackets, coats, polo tops, all sorts of things. I've got over 60, and I'm now buying less and less as I get older. Not because I don't want to wear them, but just because they're not good enough. Simple as that. They don't turn me on. You know, I like this one. This my Sammy Nasri top, black and red. Love it. There's some really iconic ones. My white one with the white shirt with the red and black diagonal. I got Michael Richards on that. Beautiful. One of the couple of years ago, blue one with the Aguero on the back. Lovely. The one I got last year with the David Silva on the back with the away kit. Very, very nice. But too often Nike produce these kits that you take our badge off and the sponsor's logo, change the colour, and you've got a French one. What gives? You know, that's quite boring. I got a lot of French stuff, and you look at it and sometimes you think, is that City or France? If you look from the back, you couldn't tell the difference. Chris West, 1 month. Is that all? Well, 1 month, 5 weeks. We play Liverpool on the 4th of August in the Community Shield, and then 10th of August, or Liverpool start on the 9th or the 8th or something. 4th, so that 11th, Liverpool must start on the 9th. Cameron Dempsey, yeah, like I said, I only seen it via Facebook and came across like it's a genuine or it's a scam, but it was free, and then you receive a confirmation text. Yeah, it's people saying they got a confirmation text on Friday, the event's on Sunday, and said Friday night or Friday evening. Mike James, yeah, Bugsy Malone is a grime UK rap artist from Cheetah Mill. Never listened to him, but I'm very familiar with other artists from Money. Well, you know, maybe I'm in my 50s, guys. Maybe I'm getting old. Mike James, I'm feeling that awake. I'll buy that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's one I quite like. It's like the one of the Nike ones, with the B on a few years ago, which was black and a bit maroonish. I got Leroy Sané on that without the accent, so I'm a bit gutted about that. That's a very tight top as well. So I might have a look at that black one. That's the one that tickles my fancy. Robert Lang, hey mate, how you doing? I'm all right, mate. I've had a few rough days. You know, I've not had enough sleep, and I'd less than 2 hours sleep last night, and it's really given me a crap day, a really crappy day, where I've not. I mean, I've been so tired and demotivated. You know, forced myself to go to the gym this morning. I wanted to do some boxing for half an hour. But I did about 15 minutes and I couldn't do it. And I came home, I've had a couple of hours kip as well this afternoon. And someone rang me up because I offer these free workshops to special needs schools. And someone rang me up from a special needs school asking, you know, for information and if I could go down and do a workshop for them. It took me about, you know, an hour to get there. But no, I'll be really chuffed if they actually come through and say, and we go ahead with this. It's my passion, education, helping people, especially kids who are marginalised, you know, ignored. Well, you wouldn't say, you could, ignored by mainstream society, you know. I mean, they get a lot of support in the schools they go to, but ignored by mainstream society. And that breaks my heart. Really, you know, unfairness. It breaks my heart. So I love doing that, and actually that gets me going. I went to a school last week. I went there, I had a big banging headache, and I asked this girl. She's very, very noisy. I said, I've got this banging headache, can you keep quiet? And that was a mistake because she started screaming at me, knowing that I had a headache. But by the end of the hour, she was really nice and friendly, and you know, it was fine. And I know she's quite difficult to deal with, so you know, I was quite pleased to get through, and my headache had gone. I mean, if you're having a good time, you know, it helps health-wise too. Mike James, I'm feeling that away, Kit. I've seen that. Robert Lang, yep. Cameron Dempsey, I do love the goalkeeper kit. I'll have to have a look at that. I'll have a proper look. Mike James, it doesn't sound like it was well held, and you're right, it could have been. Yeah, I mean, look, I've had a few incidents with City's unveilings and stuff. You know, I did a video on the Mahrez one, which was not great. A lot of people complained. Sad thing is, okay, if you are negative about it, people come and jump down your throat. Okay, we had Natalie Pav come on. I think she was Natalie Pike in those days, and said, look, City were doing it for free, and who else does something like that? Fine, you know. If you give me rabies for free, I'm not going to be happy about it. If you do it, if in the opinion of a lot of long-term fans, an event is poorly managed or crap, aren't we entitled to say so? Just because it's free doesn't mean you should say, wow, it was free, it was buzzing. It wasn't a great event. And there's a few things surrounding that I've never made public, but it wasn't a great event. I had a real bad issue, I think, the year before with an event at the City Store. Absolutely abysmal, and it took months of writing emails and to get anything back from City. You know, I think that's something I've noticed, and other people have noticed over the last few years, that the club is more distant from the fans, and it honestly does feel and I said this last year, that more and more it feels like the local fans matter less and less, and things are done for younger fans, especially overseas. And it's like we don't matter that much because they know they've got us. And I think that's an issue. They know they've got us local fans who have been going for many, many years. You know, if you've been supporting City for 45 years, you're not going to suddenly stop supporting your club, okay? So a lot of things are geared to get the new fans because they've already got us. Yeah, they got us over a barrel, okay? They've got us. And the new fans, they want to get them in. So it's a real shame. The Bill ABC TV, Harry, what do you think of the purple? I'm not a massive fan. If it was more maroon, I could accept it. Why can't we just have it classic? Why couldn't we just have it classic blue or blue with white trimmings? Class. Can't ask for more than that, you know. But, you know, maybe I'm old. Maybe that's it. Yeah, mate, guys, hit the like button. It's always nice. Cameron Dempsey felt it more like a Puma thing, you know, the club thing. Yeah. But we don't know, mate. We don't know. I mean, it's a City as a club, and I suspect that people applying for tickets were applying through City. I don't know. I really don't know. I only saw something, as I said, about Bugsy Malone a week or so ago, and I never clicked on it. I mean, I knew I couldn't go because I have to look after my kids. Okay, so it's not as if I'm bitter because some clown today said you're bitter because you didn't get a ticket. No, I knew I couldn't go. I knew I wouldn't have gone anyway. And I'm not bitter. I'm just saying it doesn't sound very fair that a lot of long-term City fans had no idea about this event in their hometown or in their home city. Season card holders for many, many years. You'd have thought you'd have liked to have got them involved. Is it a Puma thing to focus on the youth? Who knows? Let's try and get through some messages quick and then get on to the topics of the day. Yeah, Mike, maybe it wasn't authentic. Mukund, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. Mike James, I believe the purple comes from the original away maroon colours of the 50s. They've just changed to purple in recent years and decided to put it in home kit. Yeah, that's what I said. I've got a maroon shirt. I've got a maroon kit from a while back. I've got a maroon and white polo top. Very, very smart. I think the players want something similar to, was it the FA Cup final or a trip down to London? I think I saw them at Stockport railway station wearing the same polo tops. So I've got nothing against the maroon. But purple, it's going to be very confusing if we play West Ham or Aston Villa next season. Or Burnley. Just joking. Yeah, Mukund, wouldn't be City if they didn't screw Summit up. Mike James and Mukund watched MotoGP last night. Brilliant. I didn't watch. I'm glad you guys are, hooking up on the MotoGP. Let's have a look. Cameron Dempsey. I only really buy a training jacket now myself. Like today, I bought the training jacket. I suspect I might buy one of the training kits, but that's it. Or the away shirt. But my kid was telling me today he wants an away shirt, and he's going to ask me, Mrs. to get him one or get him a shirt. I'm sure she will. I'm reluctant because it's just, in my opinion, it's too expensive. And he's not earning. He's only 11 years old. Hi Hugh Mungus, how you doing, mate? Love that shirt. Well, Ace. Umbro were fantastic. Umbro were brilliant. Made in Manchester, weren't they? Yeah, Mike, the night kits are all generic with each club badge thrown on. Absolutely, I hate them. They're an odd, nice one, but generally don't like them. And Venus Williams lost in the first round at Wimbledon today. Man, wow. I used to watch a lot of tennis, but I don't have time now. But that's a bit of a shame. Mike, yeah, I agree. The purple is unnecessary. Yeah, that 15-year-old. I knew she was playing that 15-year-old, but wow, the 15-year-old came through qualifiers. So 15-year-old had a wild card just to get into the qualifiers. Wow. I like the 1956 FA Cup final shirts. It's maroon with white stripes. I might buy it. I actually used to have that one. I used to have a lot of retro kits. I used to buy a lot of retro kits, but I actually started giving them away because I got to a stage where I had so much stuff. My wife's whinging about it. Well, not whinging's the wrong word. She mentions it from time to time. The fact that I've got over 60 City kits. I've got a load of stuff from Stade Francais. I've got like tracksuits from them. Got a few tracksuits, a lot of rugby shirts, match shirts and proper rugby type shirts, t-shirts. What else? I've got all sorts of stuff from Stade Francais, hats, all over the shop. Got a lot of stuff for France in football and rugby. As I said, I've got a bag full that I've not even opened yet of stuff. I've got a big bag. I'll try and show you a big bag. Carrier bag, or bigger than one of the ones that are a bit more solid and bigger than a carrier bag, full of Stade Francais and French stuff. I've just got tons, and I collect shirts like nobody's business. I stopped mostly now. I mean, I've cut back a lot because you've only got so much space in the house, and we want to downsize the house and move somewhere. We were thinking of going to London this summer. We said maybe we'll go next summer instead because I want the kids to because we'll just come back to England. I want the kids to do another year in the same school, so at least to get used to being back here, and you know, it would feel like too much of a shock to move them to a new school, and then after 1 year move them to a new town and a new school as well. So it may be next year, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, we talk about all sports here. Chris Welch, he's going for Kevin Anderson to win Wimbledon. I saw your tweet earlier on today. I didn't get a chance to respond. Yes, Serena to win the women's. I think that's reasonable. Venus, I think, is gone. I mean, she's gone a few years ago, really, in my book. But it's still a shock. Mucken doesn't really mind the kits. I would have preferred home kits to be classic, just blue and white, absolutely. Mike James, it's a football forum. Yeah, we talk about it. No trouble. It's Man City fan chat. We talk probably 80% now, 80% Man City and football in general. We make fun of United and Liverpool at the right appropriate time, and we talk about other things as well. We talk about life. Yeah, and I think it'll evolve. We're talking about life. We get mostly guys here, and guys want to chat. You know, we don't get a chance to talk to other guys and express ourselves, and sometimes let our feelings out. And if this is a platform for that, I'm very, very happy that it's a platform for football and guys letting some feelings out, and you know, maybe feeling good about themselves from time to time. Go on, boys, no fighting. You can, hey, treble winners, you know. You can talk about darts if you want. You can talk about treble top. You can talk about Barney retiring this year and how you feel about it. We're very open. Oh dear, treble. You get what we don't do. Okay, what we don't do, treble winners. Okay, everybody's welcome. What we don't do is abuse other people. Now, if I see anybody abusing stuff, it doesn't matter who you are. You will be put in a timeout, and if you go too far, you will be banned from the channel forever. Well, Mike, treble winners might come back, and we'll see what his attitude is like. Look, I'm going to be as reasonably fair as I can. We're here to talk mostly football, okay, and mostly Man City, but we're not narrow-minded and closed not to talk about anything else. We're going to be here for an hour normally, so we'll talk about all sorts. Well, treble winners has been timed out. It's too late. No more name calling. Cameron Dempsey, I would love the concept kit that was like, yeah, that black one, I guarantee if we got the black one, that'd have banged. That black St. Mark's shirt was awesome. Just get me, see a bit more of me. It was one of the best kits I'd seen in a long time, and they could have sold that for £100, and it would have been flying out the shop. It was a superb kit. Humongous joke of the day, Marcus Rashford, 250k. Yeah, but they say that's his basic, and if United win trophies, he's going to get even more. So this year, he'll get 250 grand a week. That's my joke that I made earlier on today. Okay, let's go through these. Let's go through these topics. I'll tell you what the topics are, and we'll bang through them. Okay, Man City have Berry from Carrington, Rowan, MacDonald, and Lewis Fiorini contracts. Matt Smith, his loan deal has been confirmed. Jack Harrison's loan deal has been confirmed. Felix Correa. Looks like he might be coming to City. We talked about him yesterday. Someone laughed at me when I talked about him coming for €6 million. If he signs tomorrow, who's laughing now? City, we talked a bit about the kits. City advertising outside Old Trafford, and a slight change in FFP. You know, we're not here to talk yesterday's news. You know, we talked about David Silva yesterday. We're not here to chat yesterday's news. We're talking today's news and tomorrow's news. Yeah, Mike's only offering Rashford 150k a week. I think he'd still be happy with that. Okay, let's go through some of these things. So, Apparently, Man City have evicted Berry from Carrington. I think when we left Carrington for the CFA, Berry took over, and where their landlords have been paying us rent, but they haven't been paying rent. Berry in a deep financial crisis. I won't go into too much detail, but I think one of the biggest problems was, and FFP wouldn't save Berry, from this situation. Their owner, he lent Berry, I think it was 4 million quid or 2 million quid from one of his own companies. Now his own company went into financial difficulties and went into administration. So the administrators, they don't care about Berry, so they called in that loan and said, we want that loan back. So he basically, I think he'd given him an interest-free loan or low interest rates, whatever, and they called it in. And that straight away shoved Berry over the top. Look, if clubs have been living beyond their means because their owners have got ambition or a bit foolhardy, that's really a risk on the clubs. And what the Football League or the Premier League or UEFA doing about that? Very little. They focus on cash flow kind of, and profit and loss. It's the debt that's the issue. What's going to sink very probably is the recall of this loan. Now they're in trouble anyway, but the recall of this loan probably just wipes them out. So it's the debt that's really crucially important that is ignored. You look at City, and Sheikh Mansour's it's said he's put about 1.2 billion into City since he's taken over. The Glazers have taken 1 to 1.2 billion out of the club in dividends, management fees, interest fees, paying for their loans for the club. It's absolutely ridiculous. And, UEFA, they're not bothered. We all know what UEFA are doing about FFP. Chris Welsh. Well, Matt Smith. I tell you what, Matt Smith really... there's a lot of people called Matt Smith, and if you read the wrong report, I had a shock. So let's finish off on Berry, and I'll talk about Matt Smith next. So it's a real shame if that happens, but it's if you overextend yourself, there is a risk that this would happen. Let's talk Matt Smith, okay? Now, apparently, Matt Smith is a full Welsh international. I think last season we sent him on loan to NSE Breda. He's a young kid, off the top of my head. Can't remember how old he is, 19 or 20. I did know because I had some communications with Matt Smith last season before he went out. But so Matt Smith is a good kid playing for, I think, in midfield for Wales. And it's quite funny because if you go onto Wikipedia, for instance, and type in Matt Smith, you'll come up with the actor. There's an actor, Matt Smith. You'll come up with the TV presenter. And there is more than one football called Matt Smith. Now, our Matt Smith, okay, the City one, he is 19 years old. He wasn't NEC, but apparently it was FC20 last season. FC20, if you go back a few years, Steve McLaren was there, and I think he won the league title with FC20. So anyway, Matt Smith, he was on loan in last season, and it's been confirmed, I think, today that he's going to QPR. So he's going to QPR, who I think are still in are they still in League One, off the top of my head? Which, I'm going to have a quick check, but, if they are in I think they are in League One because they didn't get the promotion, so, which is a bit of a, depends how you want to look at it. Are you going to look at it that the level of football is obviously not as high as the Championship? Are you going to look at it that they play in a decent style? Oh, sorry, they were in the Championship last season. I got it wrong. It's always can happen. So, but whatever. It's a good move for the kid. Then, if they're in the Championship, it's a decent standard of football. And I'll tell you a really funny thing is when I had so I knew he was going. I saw it on Twitter. I think today that he was going to QPR. So this evening I was having a look from Matt Smith, what was going on, see if there's any more information, and it said Matt Smith leaves QPR for Millwall. I thought, you what? He's only just arrived, and then you read it a bit more, and he's been sold to Millwall. I thought, I don't get this. Matt Smith has gone on loan to QPR. How can QPR sell him to Millwall? What's going on? Or is Matt Smith not happy? And actually, QPR already had a Matt Smith on board, and I think he's a striker, so they sold him to Millwall. maybe they just couldn't cope with 2 Matt Smiths. I just don't know. So that was a bit confusing. But hey, good luck to Matt Smith. Hope he does really, really well at Millwall. I think he's got a lot of talent. The fact that Ryan Giggs got him into the Welsh national squad at 18, I think he was, really does say a lot for Matt Smith. So good luck to Matt. Jack Harrison, I'll quickly mention Jack because we mentioned him a few times in the last few weeks. Apparently his loan deal to Leeds has been confirmed. I think Leeds, if they'd got promoted, they did want to buy the kid, and I think they were quoted, depends who you believe, anywhere between 6 and 15 million quid, and said no way we can afford that, and so they've got him on loan again. And good luck to the kid again. He's I think playing under Bielsa is like playing under Pep, it's kind of similar. A good style of football and a good education for Jack, so I hope he does well. Other 2 kids I'm going to mention quickly, there's Rowan MacDonald and Lewis Fiorini, and those 2 kids have just signed their first pro contracts. I think they're 17/18 years old, off the top of my head again. And I think they're good kids. I mean, they work hard. There's no question about that. Big, I think, was it Rowan is a big chap, Rowan MacDonald. And I think one of them, I had last season, it was quite funny. I had academy kids tapping me up. I'm just checking if I can find his details on Rowan. I had academy kids tapping me up to see if I could get them tickets for games. I think someone asked me for a ticket for the derby against United at Old Trafford. No chance, mate. And I think someone asked me for the Brighton game and maybe something else. And it's like, guys, especially for some of the tough away games like United and the last game of the season, Brighton, I can't get a ticket for myself. My points. Yes, I've got 12,000 points. It's not enough to get tickets for games like that. So it is quite funny that the kids are asking me for tickets, and I'd have thought City would have got sorted them out with some tickets. Anyway, so that's the kids: Rowan MacDonald, Lewis Fiorini, first pro contracts. A lot of chat on Twitter congratulating them. I think from their families and City fans, all very proud of kids coming through and who've worked hard, who've got the talent, and hopefully, marry those 2 in a bit of luck and have great careers ahead of them. What else are we going to talk about? Do we talk about the advertising outside Old Trafford of the kits, the new kits outside Old Trafford? Puma just trying to wind United up. I mean, it's just obviously for marketing and publicity. You put those anywhere else in the city, and no one's going to really be that concerned. So, as normal, you get your City fans who think it's a laugh, and the United fans think it's a cheap shot. Think it's childish. It's tribal nature of football. And if the boot was on the other foot, if United did it outside the Etihad, we'd think it's childish, and they'd think it's neat. So it's just the way it is. So, shall we check what you said, and then I'll talk about the other 2 topics. So I just missed a few comments. So I'm going to go do some comments, and then I'll go on to the other topics, because these comments come. MCFC, bit unfair blocking trouble winners when the kid was winding up. Nah, look, take the wind up, okay, and just ignore somebody, okay? Ignore somebody. We're having a bit of fun, okay? But what we don't do is cross the line. Now, and where that line is what I decide. And I think calling some people, abusing people with that language is crossing the line. Winding somebody up, that's not crossing the line for me. It depends how you do it. Mike James reminds me of the 40s, 50s when we allowed United to play at Main Road rent-free. Then they took some of our fans back with them, and that's what... Yeah, we did a lot for United. Kits, players, pitch. Is there record crowd still? The one that was at Main Road? Can't remember now. Don't care about them really. Abdi Hakim Mohammed, when will Rodri come? Don't know, mate. But if you believe the Daily Mail apparently said it was going to be today. And the Sun, who copied the Daily Mail, said it was going to be today. Now, Stu Brennan says 1 or 2 weeks. We'll see. Personally, I've always said it. It doesn't matter that we're going to go on a pre-season tour about is it the 15th of July, 14th, 15th of July, off to China. First game on the 17th, and second game at the weekend. I'm not sure exactly when pre-season starts, but I want our players who we're signing to start pre-season with everybody else. And in fact, I want them to be in England, acclimatising to starting to acclimatise to the language, the culture, the weather, the food, or whatever. You're getting the kids in schools, sorting everything out. I want them to start acclimatising before the season starts. I want them to start acclimatising before the pre-season training starts. What I don't want is someone to come for pre-season training, or the first time we see them is on when they join the tour halfway through. Why? If we've got a business to do, and as Khaldun Al-Mubarak said, we've got everything ready, and we're going to do some early business. Well, I'm waiting to see that early business. Not a complaint, but I'm just saying I'm impatient now. I want to see that early business. I want the players in. I want them to start acclimatising to the area that they're going to live in, and the country, if it's a new country. And meet their teammates and go into pre-season, and then go on the pre-season tour and get into the rhythm of things that way. I don't want them to come late and then struggle to acclimatise and cope and have homesickness and whatever. It's a positive chat. Yeah, we tend to talk about cricket. We talk a lot of cricket. A lot of people here like cricket, tennis, MotoGP, F1, mental health. Quite happy to talk about people's problems. It's a very open chat, honest chat, and positive chat. And, if we're going to talk about all these things, then people are positive, so be it. It's great, Yeah, Mike James Championship. Yeah, I'm trying to take on a lot. As I said, I had less than 2 hours sleep last night, and I've had not much the 2 nights before that. So if you're having 4 hours one night, under 2 hours the next night, you're gonna start. It's gonna start taking its toll. Evening, English Mastiff. Hope you're well, mate. MCFC. See, now you're winding people up, MCFC. English Mastiff, great, Chris. Just took 5 to watch the stream. Hey, fantastic. Thanks for coming on board. Hey, the Saint, how you doing, mate? How you doing? The Saint is a Sheffield United fan. Chris Welch is a Liverpool fan. A humongous Ronald MacDonald. No, Rowan with a W. A few hellos here. It's not been feisty, mate. One guy called someone a naughty word. I say it's not feisty. This is quiet. It's not salty, mate. It's not salty. United also played their first European game at Main Road because, yeah, that's right. We had floodlights, Mike. Absolutely. A few pops at Mike James. Mike James is about 60s, isn't he? English Master, it's great knowing no one wants to leave City. Otamendi, Del Nino, Delph all not budging. Well, these rumours about Delph, we're not really sure. Danilo, it was someone mentioned it to me today that on the City website you got all the players. Yeah, they got the players in their new home kit, and you haven't got Danilo. So Danilo isn't there. His image is there, his silhouette, but not Danilo in the new kit. But you've not got. Then I said, well, you've not got Patrick Roberts. Okay, he's on loan, but you've not got him, and you've got none of the coaching staff, Brian Kidd or whatever. None of them. But it is quite obvious that Danilo's not there. Who said that when I talk about Domino's? Yeah, mate, we'll talk about Domino's. If you want, I have no problem. Mike James is 30. Yeah, I remember James, the right back at 30 years old. As soon as it said 60, I thought, I'm insulting you because you were 30. You said 30-year-old right back. Hi, Bernard. Hi, Bernard. The Saints in the bath. Hi, Bernard. Okay, what other topics we got? So let's do the quick FFP change. I'll repeat the topics at the end. Quick FFP. Now, you know FFP is a screwball idea. But the Premier League, now it's great here. You've got the Championship have got their own FFP. The Premier League have got their own FFP. And you've got UEFA with their own FFP. Now, the Premier League's is a little bit more lenient than UEFA's. And if I remember correctly, what they say you can't. I mean, they still don't want people spending a lot more money than either they've got or than they've got coming in. And one way they've tried to restrict it in the Premier League is by having this clause where you cannot increase your wage bill year on year by more than, I think it's £7 million, unless it's new commercial revenue. Okay, a brand new source of commercial revenue. So the top 6 clubs, it generally doesn't really affect the top 6 clubs this, because year on year we should be getting more new revenue streams of commercial revenue, more than at least £7 million. It's not to do with TV money. TV money is separate. It has to be commercial revenue. New sponsorship deals, basically. Now, as far as I'm concerned, City are getting so many deals every year, it doesn't affect us. I mean, obviously the Puma deal we got the Nissan deal, Nexen tyres, all sorts of things. Every year we're getting 1 or 2 new deals, or we're increasing ones. Like the Nissan, I think we're paying us about £5 million, and that was for 2 or 3 years, and then they renewed their deal, but it was spread across all the group companies at CFG, so who knows what they paid. So that's a new commercial deal, and you can spend more on wages with new commercial deals. Now, where it's been hindering the lower clubs, let's say with investment, they can't increase the salaries year on year by more than 7 million. Now, if you get a player, let's say you get a really decent player and you pay him 60 grand. Okay, 60 grand a week. Let's say you get 2 players at 60 grand a week. That's over £6 million for those two, £6.5 million. That's your extra budget almost gone. And unless you're increasing the revenue streams, new revenue sources from commercial activities like sponsorship and kit deals and stuff like that, then you can't spend much more than that on wages. And as I said, the big clubs are always going up and up and up with their commercial deals, so they can afford to spend more than 7 million. And a new club could have the owner who could spend the money, but they're not allowed to because of FFP. As I said, it doesn't massively affect City and most clubs in the big 6, the top 6. But it gives some of the other clubs scope to spend a bit more money, potentially. And they're going to do away with it, basically. That's the whole point. They're going to do away with this rule. Doesn't affect City that much. Let's go through your things and then we'll move on to the last topic. Saying any Rodri news? No, we're waiting. I mean, it depends which newspaper you read. The Mail said it'll be today. The Sun copied the Mail and said it'll be today. Stu Brennan in the Manchester Evening News says it'll be a week or 2. Who knows? Who knows? That's the honest truth. Bernard, anyone been to store? Do you need to buy something to get a pic with? I don't know if you need to buy anything to get a picture with the trophies. I knew this morning the free breakfast, you needed to buy a shirt or something to get the free breakfast. So it wasn't that free. Someone said it cost him 75 quid to get a bacon butty. Mike James, the City's kit is 65 in City Store, 60 quid in Sports Direct. I can get the away kit with Gabby Jesus on the back for 65 at Sports Direct. I'm not sure I'd get Gabby Jesus, mate. To be honest, I'd be looking at David Silva, Raheem Sterling, Sergio, Fernandinho, people who might be going or who are top dog. I'd go for that, but Gabby Jesus, not for me. English Mastiff, who do you reckon is going to the pre-season? On the pre-season, I do not expect to see Edison. Maybe Edison, because he's a goalie. Or Gabby Jesus. Fernandinho. Sergio. Nico. Otamendi. Those 5, I'd be surprised if they all went. You know, 1 or 2 might go, but I'd be really, really surprised if they go. And as usual, I think we'll take a whole host of kids, and one kid will shine, like Eric Garcia shined in America last season, and Luke Bolton did pretty well at right wing back as well. Who said that? Mike James, you're 30 years old. Why do you want a footballer's name on your shirt? Mate, I'm 51. I got David Silva's name on my shirt last season. You know, I don't see any problem with that. If you like it and it fits nice, even if it doesn't fit nice, people are entitled to do what they want. The same thoughts on Rashford, crazy money, 250 grand. Kid's not doing it. He's not doing well enough to earn that, and that's without bonuses. You know, this kid could end up with 300 grand a week. It's gone mad, hasn't it? So you still get your 10% off. Yeah, Bernard, I think you still get your 10% off. So 65 quid will come down to £58.50. So it is slightly cheaper at City, I think. I think Rashford has the potential, but he's not delivering. English Mastiff. And the more time he spends with Lingard, the worse it's going to be for the kid. Mike James, Jesus is my favourite. A lot of City fans don't rate him. I've always loved an underdog. Brazilian flair. I hope so, Mike. You know, I've said he's only 22 years old, so he's got time. I think he gets in positions. I think he had issues last season where obviously his family wasn't here and he had a tough start to the season. Didn't score many goals. I think 1 in 17 or 20 games. But once his family were around, he scored. Was it 7 in 4? And family and friends. And I just think as he gets more used to the language and being in England, it's just his confidence. He really looks to me like a confidence player. If he starts scoring, it's like he's confident he won't stop scoring. But he struggles to score, and you know he makes mistakes because of low confidence. English Master says if Rashford was under Pep, he would be at a high level. I absolutely agree with that. The last thing I'm going to talk about, I mean, I talked about it yesterday and I can't remember who made fun of me. It's like this kid. Let's just have a look. Okay. Now, this has been reported in the Manchester Evening News today. It's been reported all over the place. I said it yesterday. I'm not saying I'm in the know. I'm not saying I've got any sources, but it was news yesterday. It's not today's news. It was yesterday's news. It's just got more information today that apparently he was seen at the airport with his, I think with his agent was following, and Felix Correa. Now, I said yesterday 6 million. Apparently, the rumours are today it's 7 million euros, and City are going to sign him on a 5-year deal. He's 18 years old. The rumours are he's going to be presented tomorrow, so that could be very interesting. Barca and Juventus were also wanting this player, 18 years old. We've got him from Sporting. It looks like it's going to happen. Apparently he came for a medical today. If everything gets sorted, he'll be unveiled tomorrow. We'll see. You know, it depends on what you read and where you read it. You know, the Mail said Rodri would be unveiled today. Can't see it. The Sun copied the Mail and said Rodri will be unveiled today. Not happening. All those Italian journalists said Pep would be a Juventus manager and they give us the date. Didn't happen. You know, so you got to take it with a decent pinch of salt because people are trying to just mix stuff up. So it looks like we're getting this kid. And Felix Correa, I don't think he's ever played for Sporting. So it's a lot of money. I think it's a lot of money to pay for a kid who's never even played a first team game. But, you know, I have every faith in cheeky Bulgaristan. I think he makes some very good signed purchases. I've got every faith in Pep and the team around him. So why should we worry, you know, about... And it's not our money. It's not our money. If we make a mistake, as we say in France, tant pis, so be it. Just move on. Yeah, Jesus was on fire, Matt, when he first came. He caused a lot of trouble, and I think that's really, really important. It's that effort. Like Sergio's running his proverbials at the moment for Argentina. So I think going back to that question of who's not going to go on tour, I can't see Sergio going on tour. He's tired. How many seasons would you give Jesus who he doesn't cut it? 2. 2 to 3. Because he'll be 24, 25. Now, Aguero is going to be our number 1 this season and maybe the next season. If Aguero stays for 3 seasons, I can see Gabby getting a bit frustrated if he's not getting game time. But 2 to 3 seasons maximum. He's got to be delivering, in my opinion, within 2 seasons. But hey, Pep's a different person to me. He sees more in him than we do. And that may make no difference to Pep. My favourite table tennis player. Okay. This is from MCFC. Desmond Douglas. Go and check him out. Desmond Douglas. Go and check out Matthew Syed as well, who cheated against Desmond Douglas in, I think it was UK Championships. And yeah, Matthew Syed, who talks about integrity and credibility and all this rubbish and has a pop at City fans and calling us sewer rats. The guy openly, and he's admitted it now, and Desmond Douglas at the time was very, he was a man, he was an honourable gentleman about it. They both knew Matthew Syed had cheated, they both knew it, and he didn't push it, he let it go. So, Matthew Syed wanted to beat Desmond. Beat someone with your own skill, don't cheat. That's something I tell my kids. Do not cheat. If someone beats you because they're better than you and they worked harder than you and they had a bit of luck, take it on the chin. Congratulate them. But don't cheat. It's a hollow victory. It takes away from the victory if you're having to cheat because you know it yourself. And if they know it as well, it makes it even worse. So yeah, that's my favourite table tennis player, Desmond Douglas. I think he should be scoring more than 10 league goals as Rashford a season, realistically. You're a real poor do if you can't score 10 goals in a season, 10 league goals. And Mukund, yeah, Jesus is decent. Wait, I missed it. Wait, let me go back up. I've seen the Strambler online, but I'm just going to go through the things. Benucci, we'll see, Mukund. I still say that's a decent shout, English Massive, they call him the next Nani, but yeah, Nani was Bob at the end. But I don't believe the critics, mate. I don't believe the pundits and whatever. But he's a kid. If we get him, and I won't complain. Because, he fit our business model. You get him in cheap, move him on. After a season or 2 on loan and get money out of it. St. Ray City have directors of football, or is it the committee approach? Well, the video I'm actually doing today, there are 4 people who make the decisions at City, and I think generally you'll have Pep, Cheeky, Ferran, and Khaldoon will have the final say, I think. But that video is ready to actually come out, so I'll put, once I finish this, that video will come out. So I've got a nice video for you guys to watch. And Ace of Stramblers here. Ace of Stramblers in the house. He's the spy in the house of love. That's that Ace of Strambler. English Master Surgery is on his own level. Never be another. Absolutely, he's absolute quality. Yeah, Ace is in the house. MCF, so you cheated at Trivial Pursuits. I didn't need to cheat at Trivial Pursuits. Actually, at Trivial Pursuits, I was very good at geography, pretty good at sports and science, art and literature, bobbins, history, average, and I don't know what the other one was, but you know, I had a few good categories that I could get the cheeses very quickly, and then others that I struggle like hell. English Mastiff cheating at PES. Felix, the Felix I mentioned, Felix Correa. It wasn't Joe Felix. I wasn't that bad that I just put Felix in the title. I did put Felix Correa. I'm sure of that. He's a kid that we talked about yesterday, Asa. €7 million apparently coming from Sporting on a 5-year deal to City. He's 18 years old. Barca and Juventus were interested in him, and apparently he was seen at the airport. His agents knocking about as well, and he was apparently coming for a medical today, and he'll sign and be announced tomorrow. Humongous dive once in a youth game, conned the ref and got another player sent off. Straight out of Mo Salah school, absolutely, mate. You taught him everything he knew. Yeah, I don't know what this Felix kid is going to be like, because he's never even played. He's 18 years old, never played for Sporting in a first team game, so who knows what his level is, but they wanted to keep him, and they thought he was worth more. So I'll give you a couple of moments. I'm just going to pop this video. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to link you to this video that's just, it's about an interview Pep did over the weekend. It came out. Now, I'm just going to give you a link so you can see that. And I would like everybody to go and watch this video if they can. So let's pop it up there. So, when we finished here, there you go. Bernardini cheating as well. English Mastiff, no, I haven't got a new shirt. I've had a lousy day, mate. Lousy day. I got less than 2 hours sleep last night, and it's just been a grumpy old existence today. And I had my kids, so I'm not going to go to Manchester this week. Normally we'd go to Manchester, pick my wife up during the week, but she's not coming back till next weekend. So I'm not going to I don't really want to go out of my way. I've got so much stuff to do, catch up on, and I'll just maybe go next weekend, maybe. But we'll see. I want to go and see, I might go to my local sports director, so I've got one half a mile away, and see the away shirts in all its glory, to see if it's something that I really want to buy. But it's going to have to be really good for me to buy it. I'm not going to buy a home shirt, can't see that, or an away shirt. Let's see. No, it's not Jai Felix. Jai Felix apparently is going to Atletico. This is Felix Correa. So, totally different guy. Felix Correa, 18 years old, playing for Sporting. Any more questions? Last couple of minutes, guys. It's 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's just past 10. So I want to get this other video trending. So if you see I'm going to stick it up again. Oh yeah, the last thing I want to say tonight, guys. Don't forget, we've still got my offer where I said I will offer to pay for somebody to go on an FA training course, whether it's a futsal course, level 1 FA coaching, or the FA's referees course. I said I'll pay somebody. If anybody is interested in that, email me at mancitychat. We are mancitychat@gmail.com. Okay, email me just to let me know, and what we'll do, I'll keep it open till next Sunday, and then early next week I'll decide. It's not a draw as such. I'm going to look at the credentials and the reasons why somebody wants to do the course, and where they live as well, because I favour Manchester. If I can get someone to do a course in Manchester or Liverpool or in the Northwest, I favour that, especially because I want to go along as well and do a course as well, and it'd be good to go with somebody. It's good for them, hopefully, if as I said before, if I can offer them a lift or make sure they actually turn up, because that's really important for me. I don't want to pay for somebody to go on the course and then they don't show up, because it's so many other people could have had that opportunity and it's been denied them. So I want to really make sure I've got someone serious to do this. Yeah, Mike, get in touch, Mike. Get in touch, Mike. You know, whether it's futsal, whether it's refereeing. Actually, referees can make a fair bit of money. I wasn't aware that they can make, was it 20, 25 quid a game? And you know, you can get referees. You go Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. They do 3-4 games a weekend. And if you're a masochist or you're after as much money as you can, you could do, I suppose you could do 6 games a weekend. And that's hard work. You know, 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, lunchtime, 12, 1 o'clock, and a 3 o'clock kickoff as well. Same on Sunday, man, that's hard work. But hey, if you're getting paid 25 quid a pop, 150 quid, it's not bad for a weekend's work, is it? Chris, how many will it go to this season? I don't think it'll be as many as last season, because I keep mentioning my family situation. With my wife in London, working there most of the week, midweek games are basically gone. And some of the weekend games will be gone. So, you know, last season, I can't remember how many aways, 12, 15 aways I went to. And most of the homes, I just can't see myself getting anywhere near that this season. Hopefully August will be good, because we'll be spending the August in London. So there's the West Ham game on the 10th, I think it is, 10th of August. Then we've got a game against Spurs, I think. Then we've got Bournemouth, I think, away after that. So these are games that I should be able to get to. And then the 31st, I think we've got a game, and we'll be back in Manchester by then. So hopefully I'll start the season on fire, going to 4 or 5 games, you know. But I think and Vinny's testimonial I'm going to. That's in my diary. My wife, I said, look, you know, whatever happens, I'm going to that game. So there's at least 5 games I'll bang in very, very quickly. Community Shield as well. So hopefully I'll get 5 or 6 games in early in the season, and then just see what happens. I'll go to as many as I can. And what might happen is I might go to more academy games, just because of the timing. My kids actually prefer going to the EDS stroke academy games, less noisy, and they have more chance of meeting the players. It's just the way it is. Yeah, the refs can. I'm sure I read 25 quid. I mean, look, when I used to play football, they were on about 10 quid or 15 quid a game. But if you're getting 25 or 30 quid a game, you know, it's not bad if you do, as I said, 4 games in a weekend. Bernard, age shouldn't stop you, mate. I'm 51 and I'm going to go and do a course, you know. It's not to stop you. Saying, do you prefer away days or home? Away days are good. I mean, the thing for me, most of the away games I go to, I drive. I go on my own, and a few of the games I go on the coach, because sometimes I'm just too tired. Like the Southampton game, I went on the coach this time. I drove there the first time. That was the season before. Sorry, I drove there, and then I had to go to France the next day. So very tiring trip. And then last season I went on the coach. I drove down to Newport for the FA Cup. That killed me. Coming back, I was so tired, because I stay 1 or 2 hours after the game doing interviews, trying to see what the players leave on the coach. And the next time we went to South Wales to Swansea, I knew that's 20-30 minutes further down the road. I thought coach time. So I like the fun times on a coach. Going down, coming back, it's, you know, on a 4-hour trip, it is a bit boring and tiring. But I like them both. I like them both. Treble winners back with being witty, so that's all right. English Massive, my brother's getting married in August. I might turn up in the city 3rd Strip. Yeah, well, I hope he loves you. It's a bit wild and wacky, that third kit. Steve, you wouldn't tell him to work out how to get my eyes and what they used to be. Mate, we just about finished. I've been on for an hour and 10 minutes, and about 15 minutes ago I said I was going, so I will go soon. I will go. Don't forget to watch that video, guys. I'm going to have to hit the road. It's past 10 o'clock. I want to make sure my kids are well tucked up, and I need to get an early night. I need to get an early night tonight and try and catch up. And, you know, I've got to go to the school tomorrow, so I've got to be physically and mentally in a better state than I was today. Bernard, I don't know if we're going to have a Champions League kit. I think we'll use a third kit as a cup kit. I think that's what we tend to do, Bernard. Guys, I've got to shoot. I'm going to bid you farewell. Thanks for coming on tonight. You know, hopefully as the week progresses, I'll get... I'll be full of beans and be back into it. Steve, have you done player analysis videos? Not as such, mate. Not so. In the close season, I tend to do general chat without going into too much detail. Although the Rodri one that's gonna be coming out, some of you guys might have got a sneak preview of it last night. I put it on for 19 minutes. I put it up there so people can see the Rodri video for when he signs. Then I talk a bit about him and Fernandinho. So Stevie wants me to come earlier. Now, the thing is, I can either come earlier in the day, which I might do occasionally, but 9 o'clock suits me just fine because that's when my kids go to bed. And I think that's quite reasonable. And that allows me to stay up for an hour, sometimes 2 hours. There's nowhere for me to go. You know, it's not like during the day I've got to go to school to get the kids and stuff. You know, I can just go as long as I feel like. See you, Bernard. Take it easy, mate. See you, the Saint. See you, Chris, English Mastiff, Mukund, Treble Winners. See you, Mike James. Everybody take care, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow.